for Jason Corbin.
Yeah, y'all like that new intro I did? Yeah, I changed it up a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of I've been doing a little bit of work on the graphic design portions of the podcast. I might be updating the logo. I don't know yet. I don't love it, but at the same time, I gotta sit and like look at it and really mess with it for a while and settle on something I really love, but um upgrades, people, upgrades. We're upgrading the graphic design elements of this channel. Still, like nothing crazy, but just something that I can do for free within reason and within my own time and with my own limited skill set. Considering I'm by no means a graphic design major or anything of that nature, but I thought it was nice. A little Jashawn Corbin first touchdown in Orlando Storm history. A little commentator from the guy calling out. I wish he would have said like touchdown Storm or something. But anyways, with that out of the way, what is up, everyone, and welcome into Weathering the Storm, an Orlando Storm podcast. I am your host, Dakota Wolf, and today we are going to be previewing the upcoming matchup, the Week 4 matchup between the Orlando Storm and the Birmingham Stallions, the 3-0 Orlando Storm and the 1-2 Birmingham Stallions. Now, this will probably be a little bit of a quicker video. We don't have any special guests on here. I thought about getting somebody. It's just the way this works, man. I mean, it's quick. It's game, and the way I'm doing it now, where you're getting a video in after the game is over, you're doing a recap, and then immediately you're having to do a preview for the next game, and then you have to do another recap, and then in this instance, it's an away game, so I might be doing a live show. We'll see. The turnout was fine for the last one. I would have liked it to be a little better. But again, super appreciative of everyone that did hop in and spent time with me as we watched that really exciting and really crazy game last week. Maybe we'll do another one. I'm not really sure yet. It's super time consuming. Obviously, like I would love to watch the game with my fiance or have a friend over and just chill and relax and watch the game. Um, so like it's a commitment, and if I'm going to make, at least like a 4 hour long commitment on a Saturday, I would like to know that people actually want it and actually enjoy the content. So if you do, and that's something you want to see, please leave a comment, DM on Instagram, whatever the case may be, and let me know that you actually care about it and want to see that. That might convince me to put that out and do that this Saturday at 4 p.m. And the same thing as last time, I'll do a pregame at 3:30, so 30 minutes before the game starts. And then obviously we'll watch the game together and I'll commentate over it and give my live reactions to things that happen. Of course, it'll be delayed. That happened routinely, that the scoreboard was just spoiling the outcome of the game. So, like there's flaws to it, but it's a fun time in general. You'll see my reactions. Of course, last week you would have gotten to see, and I posted it anyways, but the reaction to me witnessing the end of overtime. So that was super fun. Like, again, the people that did show up, I'm super appreciative, and it was still a really fun time regardless. Like I said, it's just a commitment, and I gotta, because I would like to just sit and relax and enjoy the game without having to worry about pumping out content for it. I will regardless anyways, so this would be one less thing that I'd have to do. It's not really like a big deal, but if people don't care about it, I'm not gonna keep doing it. It's just it would be a waste of time on my part. I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. I would love to do it, but I need to know that people care. So if no one cares, no one wants it, then I'm not gonna waste my time with it. But that being said, if people do care, and again, I might just do it anyways, even if I don't get anybody reaching out. I might just do it, see how it goes, and if it goes better than last time, then we'll keep doing it. If it goes worse or the same, maybe not. We'll see. I enjoy it regardless. So, all that to say, look out for that. Maybe I'll post and keep you all updated if I decide to do it. But also, another update that was kind of a complete side tangent. We might be restructuring the way I put out these videos every week. So far I've been putting out a video after the game was over, a post-game recap. Then I'll put out another video post-game preview or pre-game show or review or whatever. And then, the live stream would be technically the third video. I don't know if I want to keep up that structure, live stream aside. I might just do what other podcasts do and just do one episode a week that lightly touches on the previous game and then lightly touches on the upcoming game and then discusses any news in between. I'm not for sure on that. I'm not settled on that yet. I do prefer the longer form content where it's instead of two 20-minute videos, it's 1 hour long video or one 40-minute, whatever the case may be. I do prefer that, but at the same time, just for the sake of getting content out on time and that is relevant, I like to keep them separate. So we'll see. Again, I'm undecided. I've noticed there has been a dip. I think it's just because when you upload so many videos back to back to back, the demand is kind of less. So I'm thinking of switching to back to how it was in the off season, where it's more of like a one episode per week type of deal, where we will kind of just cover everything in one video. My original idea was that I just don't like making people wait for content if they want it, and I'm just going to give it to them. But at the same time, I think I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because once you put out a video after the previous one, it kind of makes the previous one irrelevant. I know there was one week, I think it was after the Aviators game, maybe, or maybe the first Kings game, I can't remember, that I posted a longer post game recap because I was also addressing what everyone was saying about the attendance. But I really hated the timing I got it out because I got it out. I got it out on a Wednesday, and I really like to try and get it out as close to Monday as possible. So like even a difference in 2 days is like critical when there's games week to week. So I was really beating myself up over that, over getting that out just 2 days later. So again, like maybe the one episode a week, it put a little bit less stress on me in terms of having to get, these videos out so close to time. But with all of that out of the way, all the podcast related news out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this game. Again, probably going to be a shorter video. I'm not super knowledgeable on the Birmingham Stallions other than, the little bit I've seen of them. I've watched not all of their games. I did catch the Gamblers game in full, and I did catch most of the week 1 game against the Louisville Kings. Sorry, I was talking so I could think about who they played. I knew it because I believe it was the first game of the season. So again, like when I'm watching the Storm and I'm watching different teams, it's completely different. I'm very analytical, like trying to watch the Storm. At least I try to be. I try to take everything in, every little thing. But with the Stallions in their games or the Kings when I was watching them or the Aviators, like it's more of like I'm watching it as a fan. I'm not taking in every little detail. So I would have loved to get somebody from the Stallions on here, but it just didn't work out. It's just how it was. Um, you know, and I'm not really super familiar with any Stallions podcast. There's one guy that I can think of off the top of my head that has a podcast. It's not Stallions related, but is a Stallions fan. I thought about reaching out to him. It just didn't work out. Timing, man, it's just super fast paced in the season. But again, sorry, got off track. Let's get into the game. We're going to start off with the inactives. And since I'm recording this on Thursday, the game is on Saturday. They have not officially released the inactive list yet. So the best thing I have to go off of is the practice reports. And of course, this is not including Thursday because I'm recording this on Thursday. So this is what we had for, I believe, Tuesday and Wednesday. I guess there wasn't a practice on Monday. At least that's what I'm seeing here. Yes, Tuesday and Wednesday. So for your Orlando Storm, you have 4 people listed on the injury report. One of them, really 2 of them, I'm not worried about at all. Tavante Beckett is listed on the injury report, but was a full participant in both practices. He should be good to go. Nate Metters is limited in both of his. Keep an eye out on him. It's only Wednesday, so of course he could be good to go. He likely is. And then KJ Hamler, I'm going to say he's likely not going to go. Did not participate in Tuesday and Wednesday. Of course, don't write that down in Sharpie. He could go. It's only Wednesday. He could absolutely practice in Thursday and Friday and be perfectly fine. But that being said, if I have to give my personal opinion, well, actually, there's no Friday practice, so only Thursday. So I'm going to say it's extremely likely that KJ Hamler is out for this game against the Stallions. Then Elijah Dotson. He was limited in Tuesday's practice, but was a full participant in Wednesday's. So not worried about him whatsoever. He should be back. That will be a nice addition to the Storm. We'll finally have all three running backs healthy. So that would be really nice to see how they divvy that out. Elijah Dotson, super valuable in the receiving game. And of course, that is very helpful to Jack Plummer, considering the style of offense that we run. Then for your Birmingham Stallions, not your Birmingham Stallions, of course, but the Birmingham Stallions, you have Tay Crowder, which that would be a significant loss, but it looks like he should be fine. He was listed as limited in the Wednesday practice, just nothing listed for the Tuesday, not even a DMP, so I don't know what's going on with that. But limited in the Wednesday practice. We'll see if he's good to go in the Thursday practice, and then, of course, for the game on Saturday. Justin Ross and Laviska Shenault Jr., both wide receivers. Tay Crowder, the linebacker. If I didn't mention that, I apologize. Justin Ross, Laviska Shenault Jr., both wide receivers. They are both DNP, so did not participate in practice for Wednesday. And Shenault Jr. was a DNP for Tuesday as well. Again, Justin Ross, it's just 3 stars. I don't know what to take away from that. Don't really know what that means, but not looking good for either of those guys. And Justin Ross is a significant miss for the Birmingham Stallions, as well as Tay Crowder, obviously. Don't know much about Shenault Jr., so I can't say on him, but Justin Ross and Tay Crowder, those would be two significant absences for the Birmingham Stallions should they not be able to go in this one. But of course, that will put more pressure on Dion Kane to perform in this game for the Stallions. And Kiava Tezino to fill in for Tay Crowder, another stud linebacker for the Birmingham Stallions. So look out for those guys there if they are inactive or not. Significant names there for sure. But let's go ahead and get into the players to watch. And for your Orlando Storm, of course, you all will be very familiar with these names, but I have Tavante Beckett. This is his second game after coming back from injury in week 3 against the Louisville Kings. He had himself a really good game. Nothing crazy on the stat sheet, but he did have a clutch pass breakup in one of the first possessions in overtime. And he just made several plays in the run defense game, just blowing up plays at the line of scrimmage time and time again. Tavante Beckett, of course, star for your Orlando Storm and star linebacker in this league has been for several years now. I also have Chris Garrett listed. He's one of the defensive ends on this team, along with Kashawn Banks. Of course, I could have named either one of those guys, but Chris Garrett did have a bit of a more quiet game last week, so I'm looking for him to rebound in this one against the Stallions. So keep your eye out for Chris Garrett and, of course, Kashawn Banks as well. Then I have Elijah Badger and Chris Rowland, both of the wide receivers, the top wide receivers for the Orlando Storm. KJ Hamler is not listed here because I do not think he will play, so that is the primary reason. So, of course, I could put Elijah Badger or Chris Rowland as a player to watch for the Orlando Storm in every single game they have this season. But especially in this one where I'm expecting KJ Hamler to be out, these guys will definitely need to step up and carry that load. As a true wide receiver one, I would expect Elijah Badger to fill into that true wide receiver one role. It would be interesting to see where Chris Rowland fills in if he just stays at his spot in the slot. I would expect him to fill in there, and I would hope that he stays there and then just slide over if Aaron Cruikshank or Cam Camper, they are not listed and they have been out all season. If either one of them are good to go, I would hope that they fill in that slot, or of course not slot, but that spot for Elijah Badger since he's moving in for KJ Hamler. Cam Camper, Aaron Cruikshank, Sam Wiglusz, or Jerome Cap. Any one of those guys could fill in and do well. So, of course, I guess the whole wide receiver core, watch out for them. Somebody's got to step up and fill in the absence of KJ Hamler. He is the wide receiver one for a reason, so huge loss there. Look out for who's going to stand out and fill in that spot for KJ Hamler. And then, of course, I'm going to keep putting him here. Jack Plummer, watch out for him. I'm still curious to see, can he keep up this momentum? I think he's third in the league in passing yards. He's been doing really well. I don't know that does he have a single interception on the year? Not one that, oh no, he does. He does. He had a red zone one against the Kings in week 2. But either way, he's been playing super efficient all year. Again, a lot of dink and dunk, but last game he did show he will throw it downfield when he's given the opportunity to. And I think last week, even though his completion percentage was down, I think it was his best game all year. Now there was one really bad throw that I'll still remember where we're in the red zone trying to score, and he like does a little bootleg out to the right, and he's on his back foot, and he lofts it up in the air like he's like shooting a free throw or something. He didn't do that, but he like lofts it up in the air right into 4 defenders. Somehow I guess they hit each other or whatever, but they didn't intercept it. Got lucky on that one. Other than that, he had a really good game, so loving what I'm seeing from Jack Plummer. Again, I was really harsh on him to open the season. I wasn't believing it, but he's making me a believer. Again, still early in the season. We're not even halfway there yet. But if he can keep this up, you know, I, there's no reason to not believe in him. So he's executing the offense well. Of course, this is how the offense is designed to operate, is to take what the defense gives, chip away slowly but surely, drain the clock. Um, and they're doing that well. And last week, again, they kind of addressed some of my complaints and they took shots when they needed to. So loved what I saw from Jack Plummer last week, especially. I'm still going to watch him for both reasons to see, is he going to keep it up? Is he going to have another good game? Or, is some of this going to finally bite us? I don't know. We'll see. That's why he's a player to watch, because personally, I think he can keep this up. Like, if the offense is designed to do this, I don't see any, like, he hasn't given me any reason to think he can't keep it up. So that's what I'm saying. I think he's going to do well, and I hope he does. So, player to watch, Jack Plummer. Let's see. Does he keep it up? Or does a defense finally get the better of him for the first time all season? We'll see this Saturday. And then for your Birmingham Stallions, again, I'm not acting like I'm super well educated on every individual player they have. This is an Orlando Storm podcast for a reason. I know about them just as much as any other casual UFL fan would know about the Birmingham Stallions. So nothing super in depth, but from the research that I was able to do really quickly in prep for this video, these are the guys I got. And starting off, we have Deon Cain. Of course, he is a former Colts wide receiver, preseason legend. Really like Deon Cain. And he had his first really big game last week against the St. Louis Battlehawks, recording 3 catches for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. Now that Justin Ross might be out for this matchup, look for Deon Cain to extend upon that really impressive week 3 performance in this one. Hopefully, the Orlando Storm defense can keep him locked down, but of course, keep your eye out for him. He could go off. Then we have, of course, it's super cheap and easy and a cop-out to mention the quarterback for a player to watch, but I'm going to, because Matt Corral has been interesting this year. At times, he's looked like he's easily the best quarterback in this league. Second in the league in passing yards, and I know he's up there in passing touchdowns, but the problem is he is prone to making bad decisions. He throws a decent amount of interceptions. I think he's had 2 in both of the last 2 games. So he's shown he's prone to making mistakes. And he can also make you pay. Like, he can make good throws and he can score and he can throw for many yards. But when the defense clamps down on him, or he gets pressured, or he's rattled, he has shown throughout the season that he is prone to be a little careless with the football. So look out for Matt Corral. He could have an MVP-like performance and put up 400 on you and get 3 touchdowns, or he could throw 3 picks and 3. He could do both. He could throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That's just the type of quarterback that I've seen Matt Corral is throughout this season. So look out for him. Super curious to see what type of game he's going to have against this Orlando Storm defense. And then I did have Tay Crowder listed as a player to watch. Of course, he might be out in this game, so you could go with Tay Crowder or Kiava Tezino. They're both the 2-star linebackers for that team. But for me, Tay Crowder is the one that stood out off of the stat sheet a little bit more. So look out for Tay Crowder, linebacker for the Birmingham Stallions. Now let's get into some keys to victory. And of course, we're going to start with your Orlando Storm. The first key to victory I have for the Orlando Storm is play fast and aggressive on defense. And of course, that just sounds like a common coach cliche that they tell in the first press conference when they're explaining to all of the media what they want their defense to be. Be fast and aggressive. Of course, every defense wants to be fast and aggressive, but we did not see that last week against the Louisville Kings. What we saw is conservative and passive, and let's let them complete every single pass that they want to complete unless Jason Bean sails it 5 yards over the dude's head. So, like, that's the defense we saw last week. Don't want to see that again, of course. Enough. Like, I understand the soft zone, I understand the benefits of it. Every now and then, let's throw something funky in there. Let's get a little more aggressive. Let's not. And the main point with this is force Matt Corral to make mistakes. He's shown that he's prone to make them when he's rattled and he's uncomfortable. So don't let him get comfortable. If Jason Bean, again, no disrespect to Jason Bean, but Jason Bean was able to get comfortable with the Orlando Storm defense last week. Do not let Matt Corral, who is a more accomplished quarterback in the spring league system, get comfortable. Don't continue to play the soft zone where any quarterback can find the holes in and just make you pay over and over and over and over. Matt Corral will make you pay. He's shown that he is capable of making defenses pay. So don't make it easy for him. Don't let him read your defense like a book. Mix it up a little bit every now and then. Send some blitzes. Make a defensive end drop in coverage and have a linebacker come blitz. Like, do something wild, do something crazy. Make him think a little bit more. Make him think a little bit longer. Make him make mistakes. Key to victory number one for the Orlando Storm. Fast and aggressive defense. Don't just settle into the soft zone all game and let them put up 30 on you, because he can. And then up next, a little bit less important for me, but it's still important nonetheless. Open up the run game a little bit more. Week one, really solid from Deshaun Corbin, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Ever since then, been a little bit more quiet. Again, not bad though, not bad at all. Still respectable numbers, but not what we saw in week one. So, key to victory number two, open up the run game. And I would say, like, for me, for this type of game, my overall game plan for the Storm is to let the defense run the show, get a couple turnovers from Matt Corral. The Orlando Storm don't make a habit of turning the ball over that often. So, again, as much as I complained about the dink and dunk and playing it slow and playing it safe, this is one of the games where I would actually kind of like the Storm to do exactly that. So, key to victory number two to kind of execute that game plan is open the run game up a little bit more. I'm fine with the 3 yards here if we get 4 yards on the next one. If we get, and then 5 yards on one or the other, you know, just keep running the clock down. Take this slow and easy. Let the defense get an interception on a Matt Corral, and then just grind this game out. Let it be a low scoring, uglier type of game, but let's just grind it out. Let them make mistakes and then play it safe on offense. I mean, that is honestly what this team's identity is. And for the first time all season, they showed last week that they could win a shootout if it comes to that. But let's not. Let's not let it come to that, because I know we can do it, but let's not do it. So let's tighten up on defense, force Matt Corral to make some mistakes, get the ball back on offense, and just play keep away. Let's run it with Deshaun Corbin, Trey Stewart, and then when Elijah Dotson gets open on a swing route, dump it off to him a couple times. And then, of course, and this is kind of a whole different thing, but yeah, well, I mean, we'll go ahead and get straight into the other point, because that gets into that. Get the ball in the hand of the other playmakers. Of course, the wide receivers were down KJ Hamler, I assume. So Elijah Badger, Chris Rowland, and whoever that third wide receiver might be. But then just drain the clock, limit mistakes, and throw deep if they disrespect your ability to pass it downfield. Now, last week, I gave a key to victory for the Louisville Kings. I said stack that box and make the Storm beat you deep, because what they want to do, and it's still the identity of this offense, is hand the ball off and throw it short. It's safe and it's been efficient because we have playmakers that can execute that. And we have a quarterback that is not very prone to making mistakes. Again, he has had a couple moments that are very airheaded and very bad decisions on his part, but they're few and far between. Yeah, few and far between. I think I got that right. You get what I'm trying to say. They don't happen often. That's the bottom line. So again, it sounds very stereotypical of me all year long. I've been throw it deep, throw it deep, throw it deep. But again, that's not, I don't think that's a key to success for many teams, is just to keep bombs away every play. My thing is throw it deep when the defense shows you they're not respecting your ability to throw it deep. And it's the same thing for this game. Lead with the run, lead with throwing it short, getting the ball into the hands of your playmakers who can get the yak. But when when they come up and they're like, okay, you can't throw it short. Okay, you cannot hand the ball off. We are doing everything to stop that and we're making it obvious. Dump it over the top. Jack Plummer showed he could do it in a limited sample size last week. Let him show that he can continue to do it and he can sustain this for a season. Um, that's my third key to victory. Throw deep if they disrespect your ability to throw the deep ball. Obviously, limit mistakes, drain the clock, and open up the run game. Then play fast and aggressive on defense and force Matt Corral to make mistakes. All of my keys to victory for your Orlando Storm. Now for the Birmingham Stallions, I'll say reel it in on offense. Maybe, somewhat similar. Keep it simple and find the open zones. Now, if the Orlando Storm do not listen to my advice, my uneducated advice, um, and they continue to play this soft zone, and they continue to just drop back in zone coverage every single play and display to you where the open spots are on this defense, then for the Stallions, it should be very simple. Keep your offense simple and let Matt Corral read this defense like a book. And honestly, you should have a pretty good offensive performance from him. So reel it in on offense, keep it simple, and find the open zones. Again, assuming that the Orlando Storm do the exact same thing that they did last week. And then key to victory number 2 for the Birmingham Stallions, and we'll stay on the offense for this one, and that is protect Matt Corral. Let him cleanly operate the offense. So this kind of ties into the first one, but again, if I'm the Stallions, I'm thinking I want to cater this entire thing to making it easy for Matt Corral. Now, of course, you want to do that with any quarterback, but I think especially in this circumstance where Matt Corral has shown when things get a little hectic, when he's not sure about himself or whatever the case may be, he'll make a mistake. So again, everything on this offense is catered to around limiting those mistakes and limiting the opportunity for Matt Corral to make those mistakes. Now, high potential quarterback, of course, he can make the throws and he can make the defense pay, but just let's calm things down, let's simplify it, and let's put Matt Corral in the best position to succeed possible. Key to victory number 2 for the Stallions, again, really all centered around making sure Matt Corral does not turn the ball over. That's all it is. And then key to victory number 3, and this will sound very familiar because I just referenced it and we talked about it last week against the Louisville Kings. But again, the same thing until the Orlando Storm can show me repeatedly for a long period of time that they can hit the deep ball. Key to success number 3, or key to victory, whatever, for the Birmingham Stallions is stack the box, contain the run and short pass, and force the Storm to beat you deep. Again, Jack Plummer showed that he could do this last week, so he kind of made the Kings pay, but I don't think this is what the Storm want to do every week, week in and week out, to win games. They want to run the ball. They want to throw it short to Chris Rowland and Elijah Badger and KJ Hamler on these little screen passes, and they want to let the playmakers make plays. And they use Jack Plummer as a channel to those playmakers to make those plays. No disrespect to Jack Plummer, of course, but he is more like an outlet, get the ball into the hands of the guys that actually make the plays. Now, of course, Jack Plummer is perfectly capable of making the deep ball or two or the play or two himself. But of course, if you're the Stallions defense, I think you should prioritize Jashawn Corbin, KJ Hamler if he plays, Chris Rowland, Elijah Badger, those guys, and stopping those guys from beating you on little short passes and little handoffs, then you should protecting the deep ball and the deep threat of Jack Plummer beating you with his arm down the field. Now, of course, I could be proven wrong again because he proved that he could do it last week. But I'm just saying, if I'm the coach of the Birmingham Stallions defense, I'm not going to drop everyone back and let Jashawn Corbin torch me up the middle a billion times. because if you do that, or KJ Hamler, Elijah Badger, or Chris Rowland, any one of them three, get the ball behind the line of scrimmage and just get an easy 5 yards at minimum, because they've shown they can go for much further than that from behind the line of scrimmage and just feast on your defense. Because if you drop back in this soft zone and you just let us do whatever we want to do, I promise you it is going to be a very long day for you. And I mean that literally. Might not be the highest scoring game, but you will see nothing but your defense on that field for a vast majority of the game if you do nothing but play in this soft zone and are not aggressive whatsoever. So attack the Orlando Storm offense, be aggressive, and stack that box. Make them beat you deep. You could get burnt, but that's just my strategy. If you're going to play it one way or the other, that's the way to play it until the Storm prove consistently, game after game, that they can punish you for doing that. That's the strategy. Now, if you get burnt, don't blame me. This is my team, so I hope they do burn you. I hope you do stack the box, and I hope Plummer drops a 40-yard bomb right over the top of you to Elijah Badger, and I'm dancing on my live stream, and we're talking smack, and you lose, and the Orlando Storm surge to 4-0, and we continue this undefeated tear on the lead. Sorry, not sorry. Storm on top. Game predictions. All right, so of course I'm going to give my game predictions, and as I always do, I look up the spreads in advance. And wouldn't you know it, the Birmingham Stallions are a 2.5 point favorite over your Orlando Storm. So they must be expecting a world of a home field advantage here for the Birmingham Stallions, because what in the world? Now, I'm not one, I tread lightly when I'm talking bad about Vegas because they are very seldom wrong. And when it seems too good to be true, usually it is. So that scares me, if anything. But I have no idea what they're thinking. Um, Hey, I mean, they got the Stallions by 2.5. They think the Stallions are the favorites, a 2.5 point favorite. Obviously, I'm taking the Storm on that one. Spread be damned. I mean, to to avoid, obviously, I'm taking the money line. I might actually go back into my Hard Rock or my DraftKings, and I might place a bet on this one. Might lose some money, but that actually kind of worries me a little bit that we're the underdogs. But we will be the underdogs for the first time all season, as far as I know, against the Birmingham Stallions in Birmingham, Alabama. They got them at 2.5. My thing about the Stallions is that they could easily be 3-0 right now, but they also just as easily could be 0-3. And honestly, more easily be 0-3 considering they're 1-2. But like the Gamblers game, I feel like they should have won that one. But again, why were you keeping it that, no disrespect to the Gamblers, but why were you keeping it that close with them? They had plenty of opportunities to win, and they didn't. They lost. They sold. Same thing with the Battlehawks. They had plenty of opportunities to win that game, and they absolutely choked it away in the fourth quarter. They absolutely choked. It looked like the Battlehawks couldn't do anything on offense at all. The backup quarterback came in and threw two interceptions right off the bat. Then you let him come back and just absolutely torch you. I don't know if I think he got like three more touchdowns after that. I don't know. Listen, it's bad. I don't. And then that week one performance against the Kings wasn't that impressive. Barely won. The Kings could have easily won that one as well. So, and I think the Storm should be able to walk out of this game with a victory. I do think it'll be lower scoring. It could easily go the other way, though. It could be higher scoring if Matt Corral gets on a roll. That's what this game is, just so hard to predict either way, because the Storm have only played the Aviators and the Kings twice, and it's still hard to know where the Kings really are. The Aviators, I feel like, again, no disrespect, it's just my opinion. I think the Aviators are at the bottom of the league as well. But the Kings, they could be a better, maybe middle of the league team. But we just don't know with the Storm, because week one, they benefited from some things kind of bouncing their way. Week two was a solid performance, but again, not a lot of points, 19-9. Like, this little dink dunk offense didn't really show much. And then for the first time really all year, they showed they could win a shootout last week. Can they keep it up? We don't know. So this one's hard to predict. And then Matt Corral, again, he's so up and down. He could have 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, or he could have 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, or he could have one touchdown and 4 interceptions. Like, you just don't know what type of game he's gonna have. Either way, I have the Storm winning a close matchup against the Birmingham Stallions, covering the spread. I want to say 17 to 14, but that's the prediction I gave last week. So I guess we'll cheat and we'll go 20 to 17 in favor of your Orlando Storm, surging straight on ahead to 4-0. Again, I don't think the Stallions are a very good team, but I do think that they could pull this one off. There's some sort of vibe about this one, and especially now that I'm seeing the spread is in favor of the Stallions and that they're the favorites, that doesn't make me feel any better about this game whatsoever. But either way, if we're going on paper, the Storm should easily be able to win this, in my opinion. But there's just something off about it. There's something off about it. And Matt Corral is just so hard for me to understand as a quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. The Stallions could easily win this. Like I said, I'm not high on them, but they could easily come out with a victory in this one for sure. That being said, still have the Storm winning this and surging to 4-0. Stallions dropping to 1-3, winning this game 20 to 17. Of course, favor of the Storm. And then coming back to Orlando to play Anthony Becht's former team, the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let me know what you guys think. What are your score predictions? Who do you think's going to win this one? And of course, do you want to see a live stream for this game? I'd be happy to do it. I might do it regardless of the feedback or what you all want, but we'll see. Like, obviously, if I get the feedback, a lot of people want it, I'll do it. If nobody wants it, I might still do it anyways. But either way, if you all say you want it, I'm definitely going to do it. I'm not going to hold y'all out. Like, if people say they want it, then I'm not going to say no. And then, of course, would you all like to see more of kind of how we were doing it in the off season, where I do one video a week that's about an hour long, more of a traditional podcast format, or how I have been doing it since the start of the season, immediate post game recap kind of a day or two after, 20-30 minute video, and then another pre-game preview the day before, or a couple days before the game of that week. So about 3 videos including the live stream, but 2 actual pre-recorded videos every week. Or should I condense that to one longer video? Let me know what you guys want. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Would be happy to communicate with you all in the comment section below. But with that being said, also last disclaimer, if you've made it this far, please go over to Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcast, if you listen to the audio only version, and leave a 5-star review. That would help a lot. I would really appreciate it. We got 3. I think someone trolled me and left a 4-star. Come on, brother. You can't give me another star. Leave a 5-star review, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. If you're listening to the videos every single week, every single post game, pre game, whatever, just subscribe. It helps my channel get out to more people. Like, if you haven't already, leave a comment, whatever. Like, I'm not super worried about the clout of it all. I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid if you like it. I don't get paid if you watch or anything like that. Just so we can get this out to more Storm fans, we can continue to foster this fan base and continue to grow together. I've been here since like week 1 of this team being announced, and it's been an awesome journey. I'm so proud of what we've built here and how far I've come, how far this has came, how far the team has came, and we still have a long way to go. So again, not to get emotional or sappy here, but thank you. It really means a lot. You don't even know. I don't know what I had envisioned for this podcast starting out, but like, this has been better than anything I could have imagined. I'm new to this. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm talking into a microphone and reading notes and talking about football. And that's what I do know is football. So I'm glad we have a community of people who love football as well. And we can just sit here and talk ball for your local Orlando team. Super happy to be doing this with all of you guys. Let's go ahead and get everyone out of here and look forward to seeing you in the live stream if it happens. But with that being said, thank you for weathering the storm. Go Storm. Surge on.